Change is one of those things that is, the cliche about it is change is the only constant. And the reason why that's a cliche is because it's true. Things are either growing or they're dying. They're very rarely ever just staying the same. And so things tend to progress forward. As a believer, it's interesting, the worldview of faith, especially of that's articulated in the New Testament, this idea, it was a radically different idea. At this period of time. The idea that we began in a garden and end in a city, that we're progressing towards something, and in that it's progressing, like it's actually getting better and better and better. What Jesus said is a seed's going to come in the ground and it's going to grow, and it's going to be the smallest seed, but it's going to be the biggest tree. You never hear anywhere that it says, and the Lord did an old thing. The Lord was always doing new things and new things and new things. And so as Christians, we should understand that that is part of the deal, that we're always growing, we're always being made into His likeness. He's always pruning stuff off of us. He's always retilling the soil. He is expecting change, and that everything is changing and moving somewhere. Back at that time, first century and before, everybody thought of life as cyclical, and why wouldn't you? The sun seemed to rotate around the earth, and then the moon came out, and then the moon sort of went through these phases, and we went through seasons, and there was growing season, and then fallow season, and then planting season. It just looked like one big cycle. You were born, you grew up, and then you died, right? Everything looked like a cycle. And then along comes Jesus. And He says, oh, it's not a cycle. We're actually progressing towards, there's a kingdom that's not of this world that I'm actually bringing, and I'm planting it on this earth. And it's actually going to continue to grow and have an impact in every sphere, area, aspect, arena in life. And we're growing towards something. This earth is eventually going to be reborn so that it looks like this other kingdom that I'm from. So we should be on the forefront of change towards things that look like the ethos of Jesus. Unfortunately, we're often not. And you could talk conservative, progressive. I don't want to talk it politically. I want to talk it in terms of our spiritual life. We should not be conservative spiritually. We should be progressive spiritually. We should expect that the kingdoms of this world are becoming the kingdoms of our God, because that's what the Bible tells us, that we are progressing. We're being forever sanctified. We're being purified. We're being made in His likeness. The kingdom is coming here on earth. We're progressing towards something. And I think if we as believers just bake that into our heart and bake that into our life and our paradigm on things, then when change comes, we'll expect it. Like we'll be, well, of course it's changing. Where I follow a God that's all about change and building things, making them better and restoring and renewing and reconciling. So for us, I wish it were true. I don't think it's always true, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that one day the church will sort of take its place, both as the church, but also in the marketplace and in the broader culture, to be the ones that are always pushing for the renewal and always pushing for things to sort of change and become better and better.